Welcome y'all to another video of mine, me talking about the buffs and fixes Helldivers 2 weapons should have. Today I'm going to be going on the primaries, and specific weapons we're going to be going on is the SMGs and the shotguns. Anyways, let's go. First weapon I got here is the SMG 37 Defender. Now this weapon's a classic, alright? It has 80 damage, 45 rounds, very low recoil, and a pretty decent fire rate for this weapon. Now this weapon is great. And in full honesty, I'm pretty sure they don't really do anything in this. They don't need to do anything for this thing. Nothing at all. It's already fine as it is. It's the starter SMG, something to get off right when you start the game. It's amazing. One thing I figured that they should really do to this is give you an option to up the fire rate or up the fire rate itself. In my opinion, I say up to 600. That's all I say. I feel like putting it up to 600 would honestly just be better, in my opinion. Anyways, next weapon. The next weapon I got here is a SMG 72 Pummeler, which is the stun variant of the Defender. Now this one has a little bit less damage, but everything else is relatively the same except for the fire rate. Now the fire rate is a bit slower on this one. In my opinion, up this one to how the Defender is, and it should be fine. That's all I think. Now, I think this weapon really wouldn't need much of a buff, other than probably make the stun a little bit more effective. I feel like that would honestly be better. I feel like the stun is hardly effective with this thing, and I don't like it. I really don't. But other than that, this gun is pretty much fine. I use this from time to time, and I do very great with it. And I feel like a lot of other people would too. Now, up in the fire rate and up in the effectiveness on the stun, this would definitely make a great weapon in this game. Anyways, next weapon. Next weapon I got here is the MP98 Knight, the one you get from the premium pack. Now, all I can say for this weapon is give us the option to lower the fire rate. That's all I say. I feel like this gun is already good, but the fire rate on it around almost at 1400 is a bit high for this weapon. Or either that, just try to lower down the recoil a bit. It just feels too powerful for what it needs to be. That's all I say though. I say that the ideal range for this should be like around maybe 900, maybe just right under 1,000. That's all I feel. I feel like that would make this weapon more usable, and pretty much more people will probably like it. And I would say give them the fire rate option rather than change the fire of the gun itself, because you never know. Some people may like how the gun is right now. They don't want it to change. And I feel like that's how a lot of people feel about most of the guns in this game. Some people don't want them to change at all, but other people do. Now, when it comes down to buffs, not everyone is going to be on on top with them, you know. But I feel like giving us the option to have a slower fire rate on this weapon will honestly be really good. The next weapon is going to be the ST11 SMG. Now, since this is a crossover weapon, I feel like they should do nothing to this weapon, and that's how they should keep it. That's honestly how they should keep it, and do nothing more to this weapon at all. It's already a good weapon. I know some people who would use it, and I know some people who haven't used it since they brought it into the game. And I feel like just keeping it the way it is should be fine. It has good damage, great capacity. Recoil is a little bit low as it shows, but we all know it's a lie. And the fire rate around 1,000, that's alright. That's alright. This is really meant to be a close range SMG, just like the Knight. But either way, keeping it the way it is will honestly be better. Anyways, next weapon. Next weapon I got is the SMG 32 Reprimand. Now, this is a medium armor penetrating SMG using the same rounds as the Verdict pistol. Now, I feel like this weapon should honestly have a less of a spread when you're shooting this weapon, and probably, and I just say this, just maybe less recoil, less side to side recoil at least. I feel like this weapon should honestly get something to it. Just less recoil and less spread. And this gun will honestly be really good. It already is good as it is, but I feel like sometimes I'd be missing my shots even though I'm hitting them. And even if I have the reticle on top of their head, it doesn't even shoot around that area. So I think they should close in the spread of this weapon or the weapon's sway. And everything should be fine. It just feels like a more powerful defender. And I like that. And defender is really accurate. This weapon, not so much sometimes. So that's all I think they should really do is just give a bit more accuracy to this weapon. Anyways, next weapon. The next one I got for you is the SG8 Punisher. Now this one, we're starting off with the shotguns now, and it's going to be pretty quick with these. Now for the Punisher, they should just up the damage on this thing. I love the weapon, it's amazing, but I think upping the damage on this thing will be a little bit more forgiving. Sometimes when I use this weapon, it hits hard, and other times, it hardly even hits shit. And I feel like they should just up the damage on this thing, and it would just make it entirely better. And that's all I ask. If not, maybe just increase the reload speed. This thing is a shotgun, yes, but hey, they could really do anything to this weapon and make it good. And honestly, up the damage on this thing, but really, really make it good. However, people doing the math when it comes down to this, and then I tried doing my own, maybe upping this thing like around, I don't know, 500, almost 600 damage. For a shotgun, that seems reasonable. In hopes that we could have our wishes from Arrowhead, answered and actually gone through with it. But we'll have to see. Anyways, next weapon. The SG-8S Slugger. Now this weapon is a unique weapon in this game. It's a slug shotgun. I love running this against the bugs, and I especially love running it against the bots. Now, this weapon, all it does need is more damage to it, and that's all it really needs. Maybe buffed it around to, I would say, 400, maybe even 450. And that's all I say this weapon will really need. Buff the damage, or even just double it. Just double the damage to this. It honestly just feels like it just needs that push. It needs that heavy damage. It needs that high damage, it says. 280 is not much of a high damage for a shotgun. We need more out of this thing. And I have to say, buffing the damage a lot would honestly be really, really good and make it more of a usable and fun weapon. Anyways, next weapon. Next one I got is the Cookout. A pump shotgun that fires incendiary pellets. Now this gun shouldn't really have anything much doing to it. It should keep it the way it is. But if they were to, just up the damage as well. I feel like that's just going to be about everything I say in this category. Just up all the shotgun's damage. And it will honestly be more useful that way. And if they weren't to up the damage on it, then that's fine. This shotgun is really, really great. It does a good amount of damage with the option to have incendiary rounds or incendiary pellets to it. Now that, I'll take that. If they weren't to up the damage on this, I'll be fine. Incendiary shotgun, now that is already good as it is. Anyways, next weapon. Next weapon I got for you is the SG-20 Halt. Now this weapon's great. It's amazing. I have no complaints with this weapon. But if I were to say something as well, just buff the damage. Just buff it. Up the damage on it. Especially the flechette. Just up the damage. That's all I really ask. I feel like the stun is already fine because what it's meant to be is stunning them. It's not really supposed to do a lot of damage. If it was, then I feel like that would be, I don't know, something. People will choose this one over the others. Maybe. Who knows? I feel like just up the damage on it. Just really up the damage. And everything will pretty much go fine. Other than that, nothing really needs to be done with this weapon. Nothing at all. That's all I feel. Anyways, next weapon. Now, one of my favorites in this game, the SG-225 Breaker. This weapon's really fun to use. An automatic shotgun with a mag in it as well. This weapon's really fun to use. I know a lot of people do like using this. Now, also being one of the starter weapons you get, they should, I would say, they should give us a little bit more damage, just a little bit more. I think that would be reasonable, you know, off the damage on the Punisher and the Breaker, and they will honestly feel a little bit better. That's all I think. Now, I think just having more damage on the Breaker would just not make it, not just make it more powerful, but more fun. And hey, who knows? Maybe this will be the start of um, maybe this will be the start of people loving the Breaker again. Because all I be seeing people use is the Punisher variants or the Halt. Maybe if we get a buff to the Breaker, people will be more inclined to use it. Next weapon I got here is the SG-225 SP Breaker Spray and Pray. Now, this weapon's cool. This weapon's great. You know, it's for the small enemies, and that's all it's for, and I'm not complaining. It does pretty low damage, you know, as a whole drum. The recoil on it ain't that bad. I mean, it's a shotgun, and the fire rate is fine as it is. Now, I feel like with this weapon, what they should do is keep it the way it is. If not, then just up the reload speed. Maybe just by a slight bit or something. Like, I really don't know what to say about this weapon other than it's pretty much fine as it is. I feel like upping the damage on it wouldn't really make any sense. I think it would just be fine the way it is. Yeah. Anyways, next weapon. Next weapon I got for you is the SG-225 IE Breaker Incendiary. Now, this weapon's amazing. This weapon's super fun to use. Now, just like the Spray and Pray, it has relatively low damage for a shotgun, but has a very high capacity. Recoil is something for a shotgun. The fire rate is fine too, but this thing it only goes into a burst or semi. So I feel like with that they should up damage just a little bit, just a little bit. And all I say that is because it's not an automatic really. It's just a burst or a semi-auto. So having that would just make it more useful. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Now, for all these shotguns, honestly, I just really think that they should just up the damage on all of them. If I were to say how much they really should, up the Punisher up to like around 600, right around under 700. Up the Slugger to around 600, right around 500. The Halt, same thing, probably like around 600, 500, you know, or maybe around 500, 400, around that range. Cookout around 400. Same thing goes with the Breaker. And for the Breaker Spray and Pray, maybe just around 300, almost 400. And same thing for the Breaker Incendiary, around 300 to 400. Or, yeah, around 300. That's all I see that would make all these shotguns more fun, more better, and more powerful. Just upping the damage on all of them. Up in the range, yeah, that may be nice. I'm pretty sure we all would like a little bit more range with these shotguns so they can one shot even farther. But other than that, I think there's no problem. Now, at some point, if they were to give us the option to add chokes onto these shotguns, now that would be really good. Closing in the spread of the shotgun pellets, allowing you to hit a little bit more farther. Now, I'm pretty sure no one will be complaining about that. That would honestly be great. Well, other than all that, I got really nothing else for today. Thanks for watching. Comment down your opinions and how you feel and what do you think they should do to these weapons. If you ever want to play, I'm down to play. Anyways, thanks for watching and have a nice day.